Hi there, I'm Laura McHarrie at The Hidden Edge with another tea break tip on how to use business models and tools to help you manage your growing business. Today we're going to look at how to use Berne's theory of transactional analysis. This is really useful if you want to become a more effective communicator. Transactional analysis theory describes the state of mind that a person is in when they give or receive a message. The way that managers communicate with staff has a significant effect on how staff receive, interpret, and act upon the broadcasted message. Berne identified 5 patterns of behaviour or ego states that people use when communicating. So let's have a look at those. Okay. The characteristics of each ego state are the critical parent state. The person in this position is overbearing and tells what people to do. The nurturing parent state. The person expresses concern for people's feelings, but likes to tell people what to do in the guise of offering advice. The free child state. The person expresses their emotions without constraint. The adaptive child state. The person lacks confidence and is anxious to please. The adult ego state is when the person acts with maturity and assesses the situation in a calm and rational manner. Although behaving in the adult ego state is generally the most effective approach, Berne suggests that there are times when managers may need to adopt the parent or even the child ego states in order to motivate their employees. And of course, whilst I've used the word employees, it could be any of your stakeholders that this will work with, and indeed those people that you have at home. So how do we need to use this? We need to recognise that we have the ability to adopt any ego state. To use transactional analysis, we need to identify which ego state our staff is in, and to adopt the ego state which is most effective in dealing with them. If you are both in parent ego state, then the likelihood is that there will be friction as you both try to impose your own rules on the other. If you're both in child ego state, you might have a bit of fun, but nothing will get done because you're too busy sucking your thumb and throwing your teddies out of the crib. If you're in the parent ego state and the other person is in the child ego state, or vice versa, then this will produce an outcome satisfactory to at least one side, but it may well be short-lived. The ideal state to aim for is when you're both in the adult ego state. So how do we need to use this? Well, when you know the theory, you can use transactional analysis to help you plan transactions. For example, we can identify what ego state would be most valuable for us to send a message from, and which ego state it would be better for it to be received by. If you receive a reply from the wrong, non-expected ego state, then you can either try to shift the other person's ego state, or you can try again another time when the person may be in a different ego state. You can listen to people's communication style to identify if they're habitually in one ego state, and then decide if communication to that ego state would be appropriate or not. Transactional analysis, therefore, can be used to elicit the reactions that you want from other people, and this will happen consciously or unconsciously. You can help to shift the other person's ego state by inviting people to move into different ego states. They may not always move into it, particularly somebody is habitually in another one. To do this, you need to acknowledge their current ego state by sending an appropriate message or response, and then invite them into another ego state by the words and the body language that you use. And here we have a template to start thinking about how we might move somebody from one state to another. If we want them to move into adult, we might ask a question, or state a few facts, or ask for their opinion, or ask for their preference, or ask for their view. If you want to invite them into nurturing parent, you could ask for their help, ask for their advice, ask for their expert opinion. Tell them about your fears and worries. If you'd like to invite them to move into a natural child state, then be one yourself. Show the funny side of a situation. Become the nurturing parent. Be enthusiastic. Show an unconventional way of looking at things. The thing about TA is that you have a considerable impact on modifying unsatisfactory behaviour by the way that you communicate with others. Use your adult ego state to think about what behaviour is appropriate. The adult ego state has the capacity to control the other two ego states. So there you have a simple explanation on how to use Berne's transactional analysis. Have a go. You can download the template from the Hidden Edge website. Do share your stories there too. I'm building a portfolio of small business case studies and would love to include examples of what has worked well for you. Anyway, that's it for this time. Cup of coffee awaits. Until next time, goodbye.